Hello and welcome to the Horse Racing Ireland Racing Preview. My name is Sarah Barton. I'm joined today by the in-house racing mastermind himself, Martin Murphy. Today we're going to be looking at racing at the Curragh on Saturday the 30th of June, which of course is the second day of the Irish Derby Festival weekend. Racing kicks off at 3:40 and it's the first of a cracking 8-race card. But where better to start than with the big race of the day itself. That's the Dubai Duty-Free Irish Derby, run over a mile 4. It's a Group 1 and it's the last race on Saturday's card, going off at 7:40. Of course, all eyes in this race will be on the Aidan O'Brien English 2000 Guineas and Epsom Derby winner Camelot, who's out to bag yet another success and classic for the Aidan O'Brien team. But he is up against 6 good top-class colts as well, and the softest he's run on is good to soft, so possibly the ground could go against him, but he's probably classy enough to,
I think he probably
still do it.
Yeah, actually, well, it's interesting. Aidan O'Brien has issued a ground warning against him. Obviously, if it turns up heavy, it would be a bit of a problem for him, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
He's got such a lovely action.
Yeah.
He's by Montjuic, obviously, who won this race in 1989 himself, and you know, obviously a very top-class colt. And at 4-1 on favourite, it's very difficult to oppose him. However, as you said, it is a decent race, although there is no English runners or French runners either. His stable companion, Imperial Monarch, interesting horse. Very unlucky in the French Derby. Should have finished an awful lot closer than 9th. It was a bit of a messy, absolutely, very messy race. And you know, I think he is a realistic alternative to him. I think he should certainly probably finish second. It'd be my bet to back, without maybe at maybe 2-1 or some type of price to that. Now, obviously, John Ox knows how it is, what it takes to win this race. He's won it twice before. He's got 2 interesting runners in Born to See, 3-part putter to, of course, the brilliant Sea of Stars and the Mount of Johnny Murtagh. This one steps up sharply in distance here from a mile to a mile and a half. He finished 4th at Royal Ascot last week, but you'll have to respect his chances.
And he was going well when 4th. I mean, it looked like he needed a bit further, but
yeah, I think he does need a bit further. Whether he needs a mile and a half on soft ground remains open to be, we'll find out the answer tomorrow. But the other one I think of John Ox is Akid Mofid, very interesting 2-year-old. He finished second in the Beresford Stakes, and although that form hasn't actually worked out that well, the fact he's running here first time out suggests that John Ox obviously thinks an awful lot of him.
Yeah.
And with William Buick coming over to take the mount, of course he was, in great form. Royal Ascot, 5 great winners he had, and I think Akid Mofid could reach the frame. But for me, it's very hard to look beyond Camelot and possibly Imperial Monarch to chase him home.
And the lack of a run since September of last year for Akid Mofid, would that?
Well, I suppose it wouldn't be.
He'll have them right.
He'll have him ready. He's had a few niggly problems, but I'm sure Ox wouldn't run him unless he felt he was ready to give himself 100%.
Yeah.
I think the trip will suit him. I don't think the ground will bother him. It's just whether he's 100% fit or not. I suppose it's probably a doubt in the punters. But for those people who don't want to back a 4-1 on favourite, Akid Mofid would be
without the favourite.
Without the favourite, even without the 2 favourites, if you could get that price.
Okay, so we'll move on then to the 6th race on the card, which is the Dubai Duty-Free Railway Stakes. This is a Group 2 for 2-year-olds over 6 furlongs, and it's off at 6:30. My selection of this race is another Aidan O'Brien runner. That's Christopher O'Colombo, who ran 3rd to Dawn Approach in the Coventry at Ascot last week. That was on good ground, so again, the ground could be an issue.
Possibly so. He was a very good winner in Navan first time out, Sarah. He looks a really top-class colt. Of course, that Coventry run was only 11 days ago, so whether he's recovered sufficiently to win this is open to question. But again, Aidan O'Brien wouldn't let him take his chance unless he felt he was 100% ready to do himself justice. He's got an interesting second runner here in Pedro the Great, a horse that I seen win at Leopardstown last week on soft ground. Won very impressively on that occasion. Came an awful lot for his run at Naas first time out when he finished 5th to Dawn Approach, beating about 10 lengths on that occasion. So I think Pedro the Great will put it up to Christopher Colombo, but it's very hard to see Christopher Colombo actually getting beaten.
So it's looking like it could be a good day for Aidan O'Brien already.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
So we'll move on then to the 7th race, which is the Woody's DIY Sapphire Stakes. This is a Group 3 run over 5 furlongs. Now, the English have a great record in the sprints up the Curragh, so I'm going to side with an English-trained runner in Definitely. He's had a lot of placed form in group races, and although he hasn't had a win since 2010, I think in a Group 3 he would be good, definitely a good shot for a place.
Certainly indeed, Sarah. This one has actually raced at the Curragh a few times before. He was second last year in the Waterford Testimonial Stakes last October. Like soft ground and the Mount of Johnny Murtagh, and certainly obviously has a very big chance. The likely one against him will be Tiddlywinks from the Kevin Ryan yard, the Mount of Pat Smullen, who also run to win the Greenland Stakes here at the Curragh meeting in the 2000 Guineas Day. On that occasion, the ground was quite quick. He also won on soft ground at York before that. But the one thing about Tiddlywinks is actually never won over 5 furlongs. So whether he's fast enough to beat definitely remains open to question. He also has to give him £5 as well in weight, which could be a tough task. So I'll go along with definitely, just like yourself. I also give a mention to Catla at a big price each way for John Grogan. probably the best of the Irish. There's only 3 Irish runners in this against 6 English runners. So I'll go with Catley each way at 16 to 1 or 20 to 1.
Yeah, and it's nice to have one English interest and one Irish interest
Absolutely.
anyway in the race.
Yeah.
So then, elsewhere on the card, I'll just like to give a mention to a Jessica Harrington trained filly called One Fine Day. She's running the second race off at 4:10. She won on heavy ground over a mile in Leopardstown last week, and I just liked her attitude and the way she did it.
Yeah, she won it very well. She's up £5 for that, and obviously has a big chance in what is a very open contest with 15 fillies. Towards the bottom of the weights, I like a filly called Angel Bright from Dermawell Yard, with young Lee Roach taking £5 off her. She's been third and second her last 2 starts, and should reward each way support. The rest of the card then, I'll give a mention to number 2 in the 520, horse called Barrack from Frank Ennis's yard. Solid horses that he loves the soft ground, and the mile triplet, no problem for him. He's a solid each way bet. And in the 555, the favourite here is Bertie Whittle. The Midsummer Scurry Sprint is now called a Paddy Power Sprint. This race is always attracts a big field, but there's only 14 in it this year, and Bertie Whittle has been the anti-post favourite since betting started last Tuesday. Has obviously a big chance, but the one I like at a decent price is Knox Stars from the Pat Martin yard. Very consistent filly, loves 6 furlongs and like the soft ground as well.
And Chris Hayes on board.
Absolutely.
So he's a good record at the Curragh too.
He has indeed.
So then to summarise racing at the Curragh on Saturday, I've given a mention of the second race off at 4:10 to the Jessica Harrington trained One Fine Day, with Martin giving a mention to the Dermot Well trained Angel Bright. In the fourth race off at 5:20, Martin's given a mention to Barrack for the Frank Ennis yard. And in the 5:55, he likes Knox Stars each way at a good price. In the 6:30, the sixth race, we're both on side with Christopher Colombo, but Pedro the Great might give him a run for his money. In the 7th race off at 7 o'clock, we both like Defa Knightley. In the last and final and big race of the day and the weekend, the 7:40, we're not seeing Camelot being beaten, and I'm personally looking forward to going up to the parade ring to get a look at him in the flesh. So it's such a fantastic card on offer, great food, fashion and live music after racing. It's sure to be a great day out, so thanks for watching.
Thank you.